Welcome to thetechsource.tv. My name is Dan, and today we're going to do a full review on the Fractal Design Arc case. This case was kindly provided by Fractal Designs, and now without further ado, let's get into it. So moving on to the outside of the case, we're going to start off first. As you can see, here's the back panel, which is it's got a nice black finish on it. Moving on to the front, this is where the looks of this case really are stunning. It's got this nice brushed aluminum look. It's got the massive intake grill. It's only got 2 drive bays, the awesome Fractal Design logo. We got chrome feet, and on the side we got a 140mm fan slot. You can put one, or you can do 180. Now the fan there is optional. It does not come with a fan on there, but I added one. And we're just going to swing around and just get you a nice, good look at this case. It's a gorgeous looking case. It comes at a good size, and it has a nice profile when it's on your desk and all set up. So moving on to the front, as I said about that logo, as you can see, it's embedded. It's not a sticker or anything, so that's quality right there. So we got a USB 3, 2 USB 2s, a power button, headphone, microphone, and a reset button. We also got a 5¼ to 3.5 inch drive bay adapter for card readers. And on the top, you can remove the top grill, and it reveals 3 fan slots. You can put 140s and 120s, and you can do a 2x120 rad in here, which is awesome. So lots of options for rads and fans. On the front, it's removable. This is how you install your 140mm fans in the front. So you can put up to 2 fans in here, but you cannot put 120mm fans. So as you can see, there's lots of room to work on here, get to your drives, depending on which way you orient your drives. Also, lots of room to even hide cables like what I did, because I don't have 2 front fans installed. But as I was saying earlier, you cannot install a 120mm fan. So moving on to the back of the case, what do we find? Well, we find 2 water cooling tubes for the water cooling tubes to go through. We find a 140mm fan included. You can put a 120 if you prefer it. There's a where your IL shield plate would get installed. I lost mine. Moving down, we have 7 expansion slots. We actually have an 8th, so that's for like a fan controller or something, an expansion card that doesn't really go in a PCI slot. You can put there. It comes with an included fan controller. It can control up to 3 fans. I tried 4. It works. I wouldn't recommend it though. It probably doesn't help for lifespan. Also, there's that's where your power supply goes in, regular ATX, and it also has rubber grommets. So moving on to the inside of the case, as you can see, there's a couple rubber grommets. Your power supply goes on the bottom. We got the rubber grommet for the power supply, all its cables to go through. There's a place to put a 140 or a 120mm fan, which is great to intake cool air. Also, the power supply intakes cool air from underneath the case. Moving on to the rest of the case, you can see we put an M-ATX motherboard in here, but you can put a full-size ATX motherboard in here. Not an E-ATX, but you can just put a full ATX. Here's the hard drive bays. There's 8 of them, but also the top hard drive bay is removable, which is great. So you can, if you don't need all of the drive bays, you can take it out. And by taking it out, that also gives you a lot more airflow to your video card and things like that. So it's not in the way, and it also reduces noise. And you can turn it and put it the other way. On the top, you can put a 2x120 rad, which is great. I really like how they did that. And I like how they pushed it forward slightly, just so it doesn't touch any of the heat sinks on your motherboards or hits any of the power cables. It makes it for maximum compatibility. And also, there's 2 rubber grommets underneath it. On the side of the case here, you can see there's 2 more rubber grommets. Well, one for DVD drives and another one for the 24-pin and things like that. They worked out really well. They're in the perfect spot, and they're the perfect size, I found. And again, the rad, as you can see, it fits perfectly. It doesn't hit anything. There's lots of clearance. You even lots of room to even put your hand back there, which is awesome. You know, a lot of cases really don't think of these things fully. Now we're going to move to the back of the case. As you can see in the back of the case, it always looks like a mess, but this case actually did a pretty good job at controlling the mess of wires. So as you can see, you can easily get to all your drives. Now this case we only put 2 drives in it, because it's still be really needed. There's all the cable. As you can see, look at this. There's so much room behind that motherboard tray, the cables barely stick out of the case, even when there's no case on. That's awesome. So when you put that side panel on, it's going to be super easy to slide it on. Now, there's a big CPU cutout that actually works. It's in the proper position. A lot of cases get that wrong. There's also lots of places where you can zip tie all the cables down and anchor them. I'd like a couple more near the rest of the cables I have underneath the CPU cutout, but that's okay. Everything's still in good places. So we showed you tons of great features of this case, and we're very impressed with it. So now, I'm going to tell you what I liked and what I disliked. Basically, what I disliked was you couldn't put 120mm fans in the front. I just found that weird, but I can see where they're going because 140s are a bit quieter. I just like to see the support for them, because they had support for them for everywhere else in the case but the side panel. With the side panel, you can somewhat put 120s in because it has a mesh finish, so you can somewhat line up the screws. But everywhere else in the case, they put 120 fan mounts for it, which was great, you know, because a lot of people do use 120s. They are kind of the standard for case fan sizes. Now, going on with fans, there's tons of dust filters in this case, which we really liked. Now, there's dust filters in the front, the top, and the bottom, all easily removable and cleanable, which is great. You know, a lot of cases have dust filters, but they're not easy to get at, some of them. Now, I like the all-black interior. Actually, I like the whole interior as a whole. The whole interior of this case is very well laid out. It's very smart and ingenious. I like the black and white interior, which is great, adds a very cool, crisp, clean look, and it makes it unique because there's no other case that really has that look to it. The whole rubber grommet, the whole cable management system is great. From the amount of space in the back behind that motherboard tray, the huge CPU cutout, and where they perfectly placed every rubber grommet is perfect. You know, I never found myself being like, oh man, I wish this was just a little bit here or something. When I put it all together, it just went together perfectly. No hitches, no problems, never cut my fingers. Everything was very clean and put together well. It felt really high quality. Now, again, we like the internal USB 3 support, which was phenomenal. It's a great idea to have. You know, future motherboards are coming out with them, so you might as well future-proof your case. And especially with the massive video card support that they can do, up to 29 centimeters, even with the hard drive cage in, which is awesome. And up to 8 hard drives in this case, which is sweet. And the 2x120 rad, you know, that's getting more popular now with people doing water cooling, you know, want to overclock. CPUs are getting faster and faster, generating more heat. So you're definitely going to need, you definitely want to put like a high-end water cooling system in here, and you can in this case. In this case, you know, it doesn't look like a cheap case. Meanwhile, it comes in at $100, and it's a great case. So you know what? It'd be a great case to do water cooling in. There's good airflow, and there's lots of space to do it. But anyways, guys, that's our review. And if you liked it, please remember to like and favorite this video. And if you're definitely comparing other cases around, similar cases to this one, definitely favorite the video, because then you can keep it in your favorites, and you can always go back to it and watch it again. Please remember to subscribe, and if you want to see more videos like this, it's definitely a reason why to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, we also do more videos like this, and we also do unboxings and news videos of gaming and tech, so definitely check that out. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next time on thetechsource.tv.